I don't know what's so hard about waiting for more information. It's the easiest thing you could do in regards to something you're seeing on Twitter and how much of a developing story it is. Because I understand how much you people like to care about certain things, but you have to understand, if you don't have full information, if you don't have full context, if you don't have full details, it's important that before you spout your hot take, you get in front of the camera or you get on your phone and you say, this is a current developing story. More information will come out in the coming days. Wait for more information. This is what we have now. But instead, people want to go with their fifis and they want to bring up past experiences and past examples as if that has anything to do with the current situation in any capacity. I'm certain over the course of this past week, I'm recording this on December 8th, 2023 on a Friday, that you have seen a video of a white female officer arresting or putting in handcuffs a black male that was on the side of the road changing a tire. And I'm certain you, just like me, thought it was a skit because this woman was doing a lot of overdramatic acting with what she was doing to this guy.
Right there on the front of the car. Stay still.
I ain't doing shit, but I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying what you saying? Oh yeah, fuck. I'm not. Oh my god.
Fuck up.
Okay. Oh, down. Oh my fuck. Oh my god.
You want it again?
No, man.
Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch.
She pulls out a gun and she gets very excited that that gun is on that man's person. And of course, it leads to all the discourse about black people having to deal with white officers. And out of all the hot takes I saw, the one I'm putting on the screen is the one that interests me the most because it screams just believing one side and not waiting for more information. And even when people alerted her to more information, she still backed the wrong horse and really wanted everybody to believe what she was saying without waiting for even more information. Because when I say it's important to wait for more information, it's not to say once one thing comes out, you spout that one thing and try to make it as if it's 100% fact. More will come out in the coming days, in the coming weeks, in the coming months, in the coming years. If it takes a long time, it'll take a while for information to come out. Everybody should know that by now, but because we live in a world where people want their hot takes to be fact and law, you have people like this. And what's so interesting about Micah Washington and him being arrested by this woman is that he had, I believe, up to 5 charges put against him. And what's so hilarious is that at time of recording, all but one of them is still standing because thanks to the video, there's nothing there that could help the case of the police officer.
Before I go over what he was charged with after all that, let me give you the 2 minutes that led up to that video. 24-year-old Micaiah Washington was changing his tire on the side of the road when Officer Dana Elmore approached him in her car. She began asking Micaiah what he was doing, and Micaiah informed her, "I'm changing my tire." She asked to see a driver's license. He asked, "Why do I got to give you my driver's license to change a tire?" She asked for more information, multiple times asked for his driver's license. He told her, "I don't need to give you my driver's license. I'm just changing my tire." And it was at that point that he pulled his cell phone out to begin recording the interaction. But he never got a chance to because before he could even start recording, she tased him. Upon being tased, his phone fell to the ground, he fell to the ground and put his hands behind his back and she cuffed him. After cuffing him, she put one foot on his back, standing on his back, and then made what appeared to be a call to another officer. At that point, Micaiah's brother started filming, and that's where the video picks up that you watched. Now, it's very important to note that Officer Dana Elmore did not know Micaiah's brother was filming. As you saw in the video, she put him on the hood, went to his pockets, and found a firearm. She didn't like that he was asking questions, and she began tasing him in the back, as you saw in the video. It's also very important to note that the only thing she pulled out of his pocket in that video was a firearm. So now, knowing that, look what they charged him with. Right here, drug trafficking. Officer Dana Elmore claimed that after pulling the firearm out, she pulled out 7 grams of fentanyl. They also charged him with possession of a firearm by a felon. They charged him with simple possession of marijuana, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental operations. But guess what happened next? The video that Micaiah's brother filmed went viral on the internet. And it was only then that they found out there was a video of the arrest. And it was then that the state's attorney filed a motion to null pros the drug trafficking charge. Null pros means basically they're not going to press those charges. They're dropping the charges. Not the judge, the state's attorney. And let's read the motion, may we? It said the suspected narcotics were seized in connection with the arrest of the defendant. The video shows they were not. The suspected narcotics were field tested prior to the arrest. Wait a minute. If they seized them during the arrest, how'd they field test them prior to the arrest? Because that never happened. But then it says in the motion, further testing has since been conducted that failed to yield a positive result for fentanyl. You know what that means? I firmly believe that means they were planning on planting evidence to frame him for drug trafficking. That's my opinion on why they now can't yield a positive result. And because of that, he was under a $500,000 bond. But that has now been null prossed. Oh, and the ex-felon in possession of a firearm, he's not a felon. That's not even real. So that's also expected to be null prossed. If not null prossed, the judge will drop it anyway. The court's going to dismiss it. He's not a felon. Because of the trafficking charge being gone and the other stuff being null prossed, his consolidated bond now is only $5,000 instead of $500,000 that it was before.
And even the part about him being a felon was up in the air until today or last night, because it was found out that he's not an ex-felon, which means by the rules and laws of the state of Alabama, he can have a gun on him and it can stay on him. If he was a felon, he wouldn't be allowed to have that gun.
I got a quick update on the story I shared with you yesterday out of Alabama about Micaiah Washington. His attorney texted me this morning and said the ex-felon charge just went away. Out of the blue, no motion. It just isn't there anymore. I need you to understand what is being said here. As I pointed out in my original video, they charged him with ex-felon in possession of a firearm. But he's not a felon. And in the state of Alabama, you're allowed to carry a firearm without a permit as long as you are not prohibited from doing so. He had a firearm on him, and he's allowed to have a firearm on him. But they charged him with ex-felon in possession of a firearm. But once I told the world he's not an ex-felon, it just disappeared. You see, the process is they are supposed to file a null pros motion to drop the charges against him. But they didn't. Why would they not? Because they don't want a paper trail that shows they blatantly charged him with something that he never should have been charged with. Because a paper trail would show that they couldn't even do the bare minimum of making sure he's not a felon before charging him as a felon. So in an effort to further cover up their bullshit, the motion just disappeared. This is how unserious our judicial system is. This is how unserious our policing system is. They charge and uncharge things at will. They charged him with drug trafficking. However, they never found drugs on him. They said they field tested and found fentanyl on him, but then later said that never happened.
And it's so interesting how this has been glossed over and people are really hanging on by a thread to want this man to be guilty of changing a tire. Now, more information will come out. That last charge, which I believe is a marijuana possession charge, is still up in the air. And if that sticks, that's the one thing you got him on. But even with that, you still have a lot wrong with what you saw in that video, because I've never been tased a day in my life, and I would imagine that it stings, especially if you're getting tased in your back. So I'm not really seeing how somebody is resisting arrest if they're shaking and stirring after being tased with their arms already put behind their back. It is important to know that we don't have anything that happened before this. All we have is word of mouth, because the video starts with this man already on the ground and being picked up and being put on the hood of the car. I know it's very hard to understand that, but that's how we start, and that's probably all we're gonna get, because it looked like they're in an area where you don't really see too many cameras. What bothers me to my core is that this has been out and about, and people will not look at that information and see it as anything more than somebody trying to be corrupt. It is a little bit disrespectful how you will want information to be out there, but it's not the information you want, ergo you're not gonna give it as much traction that you would want it to. I have said in the past, I need cops in my life, because if I get jumped, who do I call? I can't call the Ghostbusters, but I'm not too ignorant to sit here and ignore the fact that there are corrupt police and corrupt police departments that will fuck over individuals given the opportunity. And it is my current theory that if there was nobody recording this, this dude would have been fucked. They tested him for drugs and they found nothing. There was no fentanyl anywhere near near this dude. This dude and his attorney are planning a $20 million lawsuit. And I'm going to be honest with you, they might have the shot to take that $20 million and more, because at current standing, December 8th, 2023, with more information that will be made available in the future, I'm looking at this and thinking, they got that money because that video makes that officer look really fucking bad. But hey, I would love to know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think this was justified? Do you think it was unjustified? Do you think it's solidified now that you got at least 4 out of the 5 charges dropped? Or are you waiting to see something come back up? Or are you waiting for that 5th charge to be dropped so that you can have a full informed opinion? Are you going to wait for more information? Or are you going to be a random weirdo on Twitter who thinks they're right about everything, and then once you're proven even just a little bit wrong, you got to try to move the goalposts? I would love to hear what all of you have to say in the comment section down below, because it truly does interest me how we keep having these examples come up of people wanting to be right and fast without actually wanting to be right. And you will never catch me in a situation being loud and obnoxious and wanting to be proud with trying to be first, because I value being right more than I value being first. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one, and maybe, just maybe, the next one will be an update about this. Goodbye.